Before the men got underway in the Breckenridge time trial on stage 5 of the USA Pro Challenge, it was the opening day of 3 days of racing for the women, and a fine demonstration of how to ride a time trial by the double Olympic gold medalist and world champion Christian Armstrong.
Yes, the first person she passed was Linda Willemsen from United Healthcare, but the lady who won the Olympic gold medal back in 2012 at 42 years of age was proving to be extremely fast out on this course.
She was shooting at the time of Ali Degu, 21:24. She hits the line, her time 21:24, and she had a long wait then to see what the split timing was. She waited and she won by 12 hundredths of a second. So she's the first wearer of the yellow jersey, and now she has 2 days of road racing to try and defend that title. Very strong women's field riding the event. For the men, it was all about the shorter stage of the race. 8.4 kilometres are based here in Breckenridge. Rowan Dennis got the lead after his win in Breckenridge yesterday. Could he hold it this time?
Well, it was Taylor Finney for Team BMC who really set the road on fire very early on. The man who won the opening stage way back in Steamboat Springs set the race on fire here with a very fast time up to the top of the first climb of the day, the ascent of Moonstone.
Yes, he was recording 14 minutes and 50 seconds. It would be the best time by some 4 seconds by the time he got to the top, and he converted it on the way down. A fearless descent by just 4 minutes from the top to the bottom gave him a time of 18 minutes and 50 seconds. To many people, they thought that was going to be the winning time, but it wasn't to be. Rob Britton had other ideas.
Yes, when Rob Britton went out, he was looking to ride up into the overall standings as well, and when he got himself up towards the top of the climb, it was a very impressive performance by the man who leads Smart Stop, because his time was 40 minutes and 36 seconds. But everybody expected a good ride for Lachlan Morton, who's trained on these roads in recent months.
He's finished 5th overall in this race before, but he says the professional sport still owes him something. He wants to go better than that. He started the day in 6th overall. He was shooting to go higher. One man who's worn the race leader's yellow jersey for 2 days, now 2nd overall, having lost it to his teammate Rowan Dennis. Brent Bookwalter underway.
Well, he knew this was a very important day for him, because not only did he want to stay up in 2nd place in the overall standings, he wanted to try and stay there for the podium down towards the end. But I'll tell you one thing, when Gavin Mannion came down to the line, he was a man who was really starting to push the banner very, very high.
Jellybelly were having a great ride, and all the times were coming from strange quarters. His teammate Lachlan was out on course here, not looking too happy with the time trial, but trying to keep his 6th place overall. But Rob Britton had really thrown trouble into the works. As he came home, he'd gone over the top with the best time of 14:36. At the finishing line, the Canadian had converted it. He was now, with a time of 18 minutes 38, the best rider on course. And really, who was left to beat him?
Not that very many men, but one man, one of the greatest time trialists in the world at the moment, and the winner of the opening stage of the Tour de France this year, Rowan Dennis in the yellow jersey, was the last man to start, but he knew the times that he had to beat out on the course.
He was in red when he arrived in Breckenridge, but he won the stage and he earned the leader's yellow jersey. So last the start of the 108 riders, he was underway for just 8.4 miles. On course and a couple of minutes ahead of him, 4 minutes to be precise, it was Brent Bookwalter, but he was doing a good ride himself. He was trying to conserve his 2nd place overall. 2 BMC professionals, Paul, going head to head.
Yes, it was a big challenge, but Rowan Dennis was certainly very, very powerful out on the course, but this was a very tricky course for 1 or 2 riders, and Davide Formolo from the Cannondale Garmin squad, he came round the corner and came unstuck.
And I think we all said ouch in unison, because that was a very nasty fall. His back tyre was now flat. Was it flat before he crashed, or was it caused by the crash? We don't know. But he had to ride to the finish on a flat tyre. He was losing his high top 10 situation overall.
Well, it was so late in the course, and the road rash was certainly going to cause him a very difficult night leading up to the final weekend of racing. But when it came down to the finish line, one man I think a little bit disappointed with his ride, Lachlan Morton. He was 30 seconds down at the top of the climb, and on the finishing line, well, the clock had plummeted him way down in the overall standings.
But one man overall that was really rising to the occasion, as indeed he has done all week, is Brent Bookwalter. The crowd recognising him after 2 days in the yellow jersey. he was making his own private trail towards the summit of Moonstone. He was on a good ride, and what about the ride of the race leader, passing Robbie Squire here, who'd almost stolen the show only a day previously. He'd done it for 2 minutes.
He had done it for 2 minutes, and he showed no sign of weakness at all. And when he came to the top of the climb and went over the top of Moonstone, he was the first rider to stop the clock in 14 minutes dead. All he was facing was 4 kilometres down to the finish.
Brent Brookwalter coming to the line, still shooting for the time of Rob Britton. He'd fall just a little bit short, but he'd slotted into second place with only his teammate Rowan Dennis to take the finishing line. Dennis was absolutely flying. The man who had won the opening stage of the Tour de France with the fastest ever average speed was at it again.
He certainly was. This is not the kind of profile to set a fast speed, but his was incredible at 45 kilometres an hour, 18 minutes and 11 seconds, consolidating his position in the overall standings with 2 days left of this USA Pro Challenge to go.
A terrific ride by Rowan Dennis. He really had been the star of the 2 days of racing in Breckenridge, winning both stages, consolidating his yellow jersey in the USA Pro Challenge, now leading his teammate by 44 seconds, and Rob Britton climbing right up the rankings, sitting in a podium situation now, 1 minute and 31 seconds off the yellow jersey. But with 2 days still to come, well, there's still, as they say, everything to play for. Confirmation of Gavin Mannion coming up into 4th place at 1:49, and Lachlan Morton, he actually climbed 1 place and he's now up to 5th, 1:53. Further down, there were a lot of riders did slip away in this race, but still, with the race to Fort Collins tomorrow and the big showdown in Denver, Rowan Dennis would not be well to say, "I've won this yet." Goodbye.